Master Sladgie, aka William Pascal / Sparklehorse on lichess. That's the name of my account here where we play 99.999% of our online chess. lichess.org. Welcome, Astrobate. What's up, guys? We're going to be playing some Blitz 5-3 through 7+3 casual challenges. If you would like to play, send me a challenge. There it is, 5+3 casual from Sumaher. Yesterday's simul was messy. Lots of weird endings to some of the games where I really don't play well when I'm in time pressure in these simuls. Lots of funny mistakes and stuff. It's amazing how much concentration it takes to play a chess game well. Just a moment. Alright, so I got a challenge from Sumaher. Astrobate's here. Was that... Who's in the chat here? Too early for someone on sound. Bible Thumper. Mule Skinner. Sid Chess doesn't know me. We don't play Bullet. Wrong stream. Bullet is bad for your chess, man. I have 0 Bullet games for a reason. Alright. Sumaher is up. 5+3 casual. Welcome, guys, to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Alright. Bang. We need to play something to wake up a little different. Something a little different. Right. The Benoni / Modern Defense. Astrobate, what are you referring to? You saw me play Mule Skinner to draw impressive CPL? That game from Friday? Was it Friday? I don't remember that now. I'm playing Yasser Sarawon, apparently. This seems like a fairly good setup. Knight on GE2 here against this. LVN 2K? Still don't have a better nickname for you. That's the best I can come up with. I have no idea what I'm doing. I was thinking that Sumaher wouldn't be well prepared for the strange Benoni at his rating level. But he's reacted very professionally. Better than I played it as a master. With white, probably. I did play a game more recently. Once I figured out how to play against the setup, I was alright, but at first it was very hard. My first 2 attempts against the system with white went badly. The last 2 were okay, at least in the opening. With the white pieces, I have something like maybe 3 draws and a loss. Though it's not regarded as a good system for black, this Benoni with 97 is tricky. 92 is a weird move. White is officially out of book. So we take the bishop. F5, no. Pseudo-modern Benoni. Pseudo-modern. What's up, VIP Antonio? Prem 666. The Premier 666. I mean, knight e2 is a pretty extreme move. It's hard to live with a knight on b4, but you probably have to. So he takes with the e-pawn. Interesting decision. An interesting decision. The knight can't sit here on e7. This is undoubtedly a good move. Monday Bit War, absolutely. It's always a good time for a Bit War. I've got tons of challenges. I will take the subscriber challenges first. So, Murales fits the rated. I don't play. We're not playing rated on the stream. I mean, I'm too much of a disadvantage. Spending most of my time commentating, I'm typically like letting my time run down to 7 seconds while describing the position or some sort of plans. So we don't do rated in this format. Not a good idea. Rook b1 is a strange place to put the rook in a sense, but he wanted to get it off the long diagonal, maybe move his b pawn. And it is momentarily safe. No clear plan for me here. He could try b4. I'm not sure it does that much. b4, b6, for example. Could try to gain space with b4. It looks kind of crazy. He's very disorganized. Must be listening to the stream. Interesting. I suggested this b4. I mean, it may have been his idea initially with rook b1. If queen c3, I just take on d4 first, win the exchange. I mean, this trap has been there for a while. I don't feel convinced about my play. Azerbaijan, thanks for the bit war. Queen b6. Queen b6 is kind of an unnecessarily fancy move. Let's develop pieces, fundamentally. This knight on a2, that's his worst move of the game. I don't know. I can't think he's got time for that. But maybe after b4 he's still alright. I don't think that I played it best. Rook e8. All these moves in around between my move 10 and 15 were kind of weak. I feel that I definitely had better somewhere. Back rank mate. Sarawon chess? White's playing Sarawon chess. He loves the Benoni with knight e2. The safer system of development without getting pinned with bishop g4. It actually makes a lot of sense in this system. I never felt comfortable with that, though. I'm always afraid my knights are going to get stuck on those squares. C3 and E2. It reminds me, though, long ago I did try that setup against the King's Indian. Very long ago. Long ago. And far away. Far ago. Ivan. Always make sure there's no back rank mate. Okay, there's no way to deal with that. This is interesting, you know? The opening. Bishop d3 is the #1 move for white. I probably knew that. And now knight e2 just happens to be the #1 move for white, which I wasn't aware of. Actually, I've played h4 here with white, and probably knight f3, possibly h3. I never played that move. Now a4 is a new move. It makes sense to restrict the queen side. I don't think it's bad, but it does give me this. See, that's a little bit of an issue. Peter likes this for white, though. After knight a6. It's the best move, then it like freaks out and gives white a huge advantage. What's that about? Knight a6 dubious. It's like the #1 suggestion of the computer. Okay, I've seen people play this kind of move. I don't like it. Alright, next game. So, another rated challenge. I never got rid of that one. Or the guy's just re-challenging me to rated. We don't do 8+0. It's simple. 5-3 through 7+3 casual. It says it right at the bottom of the screen. If you're watching the stream, 5+3 through 7+3, you have to have 100 rated games. I don't want to play provisional people. We've got Mirales with 6+3. Guys, welcome to the stream. Astrobait, thanks for trying to start a bit war. It's a little half-hearted. 25 is a good place to start. Thank you, sir. Get on the board for the week. We had a good simul yesterday, a little messy. So Mirales, good player. Alright, we're going to work on this Caro-Kann. I'm working on the Caro-Kann a lot lately. It doesn't like me. We'll try to make it work. So we haven't had time to really analyze simul games from yesterday. I usually like to take a look at them. This variation I don't have any practice against. I had someone play like bishop e3 against me yesterday. The other week we played the same. It does seem familiar. I can't remember what happened. Oh, in the simul? Yeah, unfortunately these simul games they're piling up and I haven't analyzed my games. A3, like it's the French. So obviously some people might be tempted to go for the c4 here. A3 is an interesting move. Okay, so humor me, like what happens if pawn takes pawn, queen b6? You have some trick? Oh, this is the same game. What? Was that exactly what happened last time? Crazy, that's exactly the same game. Right. I just sort of reacted last time because it was in the simul. And I didn't really have a lot of time to constructively think about it. Hey Jim, cheers. We're gonna have to do some analysis on this because I'm just winging it here. wing it. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I have to take this pawn. This is like what happened last time. Not my style, though. I don't like guerrilla warfare with pawns. I don't like grabbing pawns guerrilla warfare style, really. Queen g4 looks dubious, but who knows? Mathematically sound. Delicious central pawn, but last time I had a little discomfort. We did suffer from some discomfort. I don't believe that's what happened last time. Morales played it differently. You didn't allow bishop g4 last time. Your move order must have been different somehow. This does seem like an improvement. You know, on the other hand, maybe it's not so simple. Black's king is in the center. d4. Bishop d4, knight d4. Queen a4 check. I don't really want to play d4, honestly. If queen d8, he has queen b3. This could be scary. So I have to go here. Dude, stop with the crazy suggestions. Just stop. Stop that. We're gonna have to time him out. Don't suggest moves like immediately. You can talk about it after the move. But I don't like it when people do that. It's distracting and it changes the way we're playing. It's helping, you know, either me or my opponent too. Don't suggest moves like right when I'm about to make a move. Or for my opponent, obviously. Don't worry, I'm not going to go crazy and start banning people from the stream about it. If that's happened in the past, it was a long time coming. Sometimes I might go postal during a stream and kick someone out or something, but the chances are, you know, it's something that built up over time. It's not because they blurted out a move and I decided to like ban them from the stream. All right, Queen c7 decided to be careful here. What's that? Bishop f4. I feel like you're playing the Mora Gambit. Have you thought about switching to the Jim repertoire? You ought to play the Mora Gambit with white. The new Gambit style Morales. Now with more pop. Basically, it's a Mora Gambit where white played e5 and black played d5. Essentially, the similarities are fairly strong. The problem with queen c7 is this. I'll lose that tempo back. I can't deal with knight b5. Tricky guy. Okay, I don't respect the Mora Gambit. might be good enough for white to get a draw on a good day. It belongs with the London system in the trash heap of openings. We've got challenges. Subscribers first. 5+3 through 7+3 casual. It's not that complicated. I'm going to just close any challenges that are sudden death or rated. We need things that fit our official formula. Rook C1. Stopping knight takes d5. No. Not really a threat here, but we could have issues. Damn, I can't believe that white has any play after that gambit. So now you're going to really threaten some sort of sacks with knight takes d5. This fits his profile, though. He loves to control e5. I mean, knight g6, what's he going to do? Knight takes d5? Come on now. He had a really interesting move last move. He could have played queen a4 with the idea of knight b5. I might have to play queen a5 there to offer a trade of queens. I'm not sure. It looked a little scary, though, the threat of knight b5. It's not the same now, though. I mean, if he tries it now, I've got d6 covered. The point, it was strong because he has knight b5, knight d6. No, I'm saying queen a4, queen a5 immediately. There's no bishop takes f3. I just play queen a5 immediately. I didn't miss anything. I know what I'm talking about. Alright, so this knight takes d5 is a threat. Why not rook d8? Now, there are two different variations. Well, there's when I play queen a5 and when I don't play queen a5. If queen a4, bishop takes f3, then knight b5, and it's very bad for me. Or there's queen a4 and I do play queen a5, and I'm not sure what's happening. We can look afterwards. Okay, knight d5 is covered. He's on the run. On the run again. So, what's up, man? You want to play knight to d4? But we're very solid here. The pawn of power. So let's see. I'm curious what was really going on. This whole position has never been played before. Queen b6 is like best move according to the engine. Played in one game. France 2004. Bishop d3. So this is totally new variation. I have to take the pawn. We're just creating our own opening theory here. Queen b6 is correct. Castles. Peter says b4 there. That'll be next game. Anyways, I'm a little skeptical of b4. But I don't remember what you played last time. Thank you for the donation, Astrobate. Where's the bit war? We need 2 people for a bit war. What did you play last time? You didn't allow bishop g4 last time. Did you? You played knight c3 last time. In this position, immediately attacking this. Okay, and I could have sacked that pawn, it looks like, with bishop g4 anyway. That's interesting. Bishop g4 anyway, knight takes d5, queen a5 check. You have to go back. So if I did my homework, I would see like this. This giving the pawn back is solid for black. Interesting. So you tried to improve by castling first. And bishop g4 is a new position. Bishop takes f3, queen d8. I was afraid of queen b3. And I didn't know how to protect my b7 pawn. b. This looks good for white. Wow. Bishop f3, queen f3. It's amazing, like you're a pawn down, the computer says that white is clearly better. But only if knight on bd2. Wow. That's crazy. Bronstein. You've got all kinds of compensation on the queen side. Huh. That's pretty cool. The Mora Gambit. So apparently, like, this is a huge blunder. I should play bishop f3. You could play like this. This is brutal. Full compensation for white. More than full compensation. So that's pretty crazy. You lost the thread there of bishop f4, and now you're only equal. I played... Well, it's easy to play black. I mean, I have like only moves. I guess h3 was weak. Alright. Interesting game, man. I've got crazy challenges. Let's see. Casual 5+3, 6+3. That's cool. LVN with 7+3. I am taking challenges from subscribers first. If you're a subscriber, where are you? Oh, I wanted to see. I'm sorry. What did we decide about knight b5? After a6, rook c1, knight on ge7. I was like, gulp. Queen a4. So apparently it's not a big deal. There's nothing there, actually. I can just simply move my rook. Alright. This wasn't really an issue. A non-issue. But by the way, like queen a4, queen a5 I was suggesting, it's playable. This, though, was my fear. Bishop f3, knight b5. I thought about this, but I honestly didn't think of king d7. Wow. His queen is going to get trapped on a8 with g6 and bishop g7. This queen has no squares. What happens after pawn takes pawn? g5. Threatening bishop g7, and he's going to lose a piece. That's pretty cool. Alright. Who is a subscriber among these challenges? Play like Kasparov? There are actually no subscribers among us. Within the challenges, you guys should subscribe. Support the stream. Get to play first. Get to play in my simuls on Sunday. Feel good. You support Desperate Chess Streamer. Alright, LVN is first up. Should I play or should I go? I am just viewers. Yes. We'll subscribe. Support a desperate panhandling chess player. Alright, LVN seems like a strong player. Sometimes we forget. Lest we forget. He's got a sneaky Blitz rating down in 1971, which makes him look weak. But his other ratings, 22, 2080. What's with the sandbag Blitz rating? Let's stick with the c6. This guy is a very aggressive player. Caro-Kann is a good choice against psychopathic aggression. Yes. g6 is solid here. You can play h5, but I feel like that kind of suits him. Bishop g4, not a good move. Anyway, why would I do that? I don't want to give up my bishop pair. It's the first time I've played this g6 move. Usually I would play h5, but again, I feel like I'm playing to the style of my opponent, who's sort of psycho. We should play positions that he's not happy with, I would think. Bishop f7. I was hoping I could play for e5 here. Why just like can't not castle forever? Yeah, it's like Cheesy Noob playing the white side of the Tory attack What do you have against castling? Maybe you should start playing like the Jababa London with white if you're gonna play like this. This is interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to do more videos for the YouTube channel, but I make very little money from it, so it's kind of my last. It's my last, least important thing that I do, as far as like trying to live and stuff. I'd like to do more with YouTube, but you need like 100,000 subscribers to make any sort of reasonable money from it. We're not quite at that stage, so it's kind of an afterthought. I do upload the videos. I try to make some new stuff if I get some free time. I was thinking about it today, actually. I should put some more videos up, but I just don't do anything. I mean, I need something inspiring. I don't know, White's got this very strange style. He plays almost instantly. He's psychotically aggressive. You're 1500 in chess 960? Dude, what's up with that? He's played too fast. He ruined his position. I mean, he had a good game. Just trying to play too fast. It's weird. Why do you play so fast? Take more time here. Videos on dynamic versus static. It's a good subject. Kasparov games. You're a Kasparov fan. Kind of biased. I feel like White really missed the boat. I mean, he has so many good ideas in this game. You know, he's still fine, but he could have been so much better. I think I was nearly lost out of the opening here. He's incredibly fast. Challenging me to 7+3 is weird. Given his speed, I would say he'd do much better at 5+3 or even faster. He basically played the first 10 moves using like 30 seconds or less. I wish you could see the time when you scrolled back during the game. Why not? Why does it not scroll the clock back when you scroll back through the moves? Would that be unfair? Somehow? to enable that feature. Interesting endgame after this. I'm not sure this is my best. Black's gotta be better. I'm turning in this to get on the 7th, and I have a good chance of getting an outside H-pawn, but he defends against that. Alright. How about setting a price for student game reviews as alternative lessons trainings? It's a perfectly reasonable idea. I think there's a market for that. Funny that you say that. No. It's not funny that you say that. There was a different idea that I was approached with recently. Yeah, somebody sent an email to me about a business idea where they were going to have a site where you could, I guess, play people. Kind of like this. But I thought it was kind of weird and I just didn't answer. I'm not just going to answer every funky business idea I get. Man, this is bizarre. Okay. F6? That's crazy, right? You're saying white is better here. What if I told you I can, like, claim an advantage? Why would you say white is better? Seems like a strange thing to claim. I can create a pass pawn with like g5 at any moment. It's just like not enough to win, probably. Pawn structure is far more important than our king positions. King position is important, but pawn structure is more. I'm just not thinking that it's quite enough for me. Chessstars.com. Chess stairs. Chess a stare. So I've got the threat of g5. You know, typically whoever creates a passed pawn first is going to have an advantage in most endgames. When pawns get to the other side, they make queens. That trumps, excuse me for using that word. There's no good synonym for trumps. Can I get a synonym for trumps, please? Mozart, wow. Long time no see. Yeah, b4 was bad. I didn't like b4. Definitely. I agree. I thought that white had something too. You know, I thought he was doing alright. Now he's like frozen. It looks like it's slowly going to be better for black. g4. He gets a pass pawn after g4. But this is a problem. He could have even played a4. Now he's basically frozen. b4 is really bad. Agree. This structure is not great, you know. Ooh, I have protected passer. Okay, still not easy though. This is kind of messy. H4? I don't know about this. But there's some ideas. This is crazy. I have a bad feeling about H4. Mira, welcome. It's again good to see Mozart after a long time. What was my plan? Now I can take, maybe. He's going to get some counterplay, but how much, realistically? Takes. How much counterplay does he have here? Well, I mean, my pawn is going down. H3 isn't gonna cut it. I just almost lost my rook. Ooh, that's annoying. I have to admit I missed that. Weird. My rook almost got trapped there, but the h-pawn is a huge problem for white. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, that's like winning. Do we have a synonym for trumps? You know, something that sounds good? Like rocks beat scissors. Doesn't sound good. Rock beats scissors. It just sounds bad. Thank God for A5. His time use is weird. This has been a really weird game. So H3. You vote for rook A6. Something about this ending doesn't seem well played. There had to be better ways for me to play this than the way I played it. It was like super awkward. I gave him counterplay on the other side. Mass amounts of bullet games. Can't believe we're 1500 in chess 60. He must not play much. He's a good player. What? Bullet Pro. I didn't know you were a Bullet Pro. Actually, 2078. Do I have lag or something? No. My time seems to go faster than his. This endgame must be a disaster. For both sides. 100 cent upon loss. We must have made like 1,000 mistakes each. Is there a better move? I don't know. I mean, this was awful. The opening, I was like destroyed. I hate Black's position already. I'm playing like a passive Aliekin's defense. I mean, next time I'm definitely going to play h5 again. I don't know why I vary. I mean, this is definitely a good move. The most active. Whatever. I'd rather be the first one to play h5 here. This g6 is lame. It has a good score, but it's only based on 11 games. Okay, I got tons of challenges. Play like Kasparov. Okay, subscribers, Jim. And hey, it's Miro Cheesy Noob. What's up, subscribers? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That game deserves like 1 hour analysis to be comprehensive. I have no idea what was going on. That was a really weird endgame. Really weird structure. I'm going to try to equalize here. Oh, I meant to play e5. Ah, it's alright. Jim plays h3, is that right? You're playing knight f3 and then h3. Normally I would have just snapped that knight off immediately in my previous life, but I've had some games that made me kind of hesitant. Objectively, Black should be fine here. We'll try something new and experimental. So the utterly unconstructive h3, begging me to take, I'm going to take. If you're going to force me to take, I'm going to take. e5, and my white squares could be weak. So basically what he does is he'll set up some sort of d4 with a very solid position. And I've always thought that was good for black, but in recent games, I've been unconvinced by my position. And I sort of stopped playing this for a little while. I've got to cut out a little bit earlier than usual today, so around 1:15. E takes f3. Typically the setup I've gone for was the recommended knight f6, g6, bishop g7. I have to develop my king side, so the options are e6 and g6. The idea was g6, bishop g7, and try to trade the bishop pair off. But he won't allow that, and I've already wasted 2 minutes, like, doing what I always do. g5, h4. g5, not a good move. e5 is interesting. Yeah, let's try it. Normally I don't play this way, but it's kind of a weird move order. We try to get rid of that bishop pair. This is just a different way of doing it. Structurally, black seems better. His bishop is very limited. c4 break doesn't do a lot. So I would think this is pretty okay for black. This move is disruptive. d4. Wow. I don't know if this is a good idea. Yeah, I was paranoid about my e5 pawn, but that's not a big deal. He wasn't supposed to be able to avoid this exchange of bishops. In retrospect, you're probably right. Dude, you're not funny. Look at this guy. Knight c3. Are you kidding me? No way, he just takes on d3 if I do that. It's pretty funny. Dude, whatever. Where do you come up with this move? Wow. This is crazy, dude. Queen a5? My time is just gone. So knight d5, queen d3, I just drop a pawn. That's good. Whatever. I don't think I'm in danger, but it's frustrating here. Every time I have a move, it looks like he has an answer that's even better. Yeah, he wasn't supposed to get away with avoiding exchanging bishops. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a horrible piece on g2. It's a good defender, but it's very, very passive. Has no future in almost any scenarios. The pawn on c6. You think after e5, white could play c4. You know, I think that white could consider playing c4 too. I think white should focus on trying to beat me on the white squares, because that's where I'm weaker. Yeah, absolutely. Like, and I've had that kind of position myself when I play against things like the Tory attack. They trade their bishop on f3, and you maybe can try to weaken the white squares. c4, c takes d, attack the d5. You're playing on that color complex where the opponent doesn't have a bishop. I agree. So this is a weird position. Again, I'm not really threatening anything. Maybe I'm threatening knight d5 now. Okay. I guess, theoretically, I am threatening knight d5. The Dorfman method. I didn't know that he went into detail on that. I mean, he has a lot of interesting ideas on different subjects. I don't actually have that book. Highly recommended, though. Bishop takes c3. Bishop takes c3. Knight a4. That's interesting. Cheesy noob would like this. Oh my god, I'm going to lose on time. Whoa. Are you like pre-moving in a 5+3 game? I forget what an addict to bullet chess he is. I managed to lose like basically any advantage I had. Yeah, he's probably pre-moving captures and stuff like that. Just doesn't seem necessary in this time control. So competitive. Rook c1. What other move is there? Yeah, just to like mess with me. He just like literally did this move to play a move I wouldn't expect. Yeah, exactly. It's not even about making the best move. Playing for time in 5+3. I tell people not to do it. Back to 2 bishops. Probably not my best move, but He's gonna lose on time? Come on. Ridiculous. Last time he lost on time in a better position? Dude, bishop e5. I missed this entirely. Wow. He just wants to lose on time in a position where he's better, so that he can, like, show it off after the game. So he lost on time, but he has a winning position. Queen c1 is engine move. Wow. Suspicious. Suspicious, man. White's clearly better. But I missed knight d4. Yeah, this is much stronger. I was going to play it next move, obviously. It was way, way stronger here. This would have drawn. His bishop isn't so great. This one's going to have to go now. This threat is too strong. He has to trade off his bishop pair, and then I'm okay. It's probably a draw after that. You don't want to trade queens. You just got to play the position, man. You've got to play the position. I mean, it's irrelevant. Trading queens, not trading queens. Got to, like, mathematically play the position and find the best move. Whether there's queens on the board or no queens on the board, it's irrelevant. Chess is chess. Too much. I'm perfectly happy to play with the queens on the board or with the queens off the board. I mean, it's no difference. Chess is chess. Play like Kasparov. Hey, it's Miro. Alright, Cheesy Noob. These guys are subscribers. Found the best move, got a clear advantage, and lost on time. Before it degenerated into a bullet battle. No, that was... I didn't think it was possible. But I mean, it allows knight d4. Why is it such a good move? There must have been something wrong with rook c1. You know, there must have been something concretely wrong with that move, because otherwise it seemed like a better move. Are you losing a b pawn or something? There's no way that queen c1, you know, knight d4 is a big deal. There must be something wrong with the other move. I didn't stop to look at it with the engine. His b4 pawn is a little bit weak, but it could also pry open my queen side with b5, so I don't know. Where's Tony? We have a lot of Catalan fans. Schieber Spieler's not here today. You missed rook c1? Oh, rook d1 after queen c1. Wait. Queen c1, knight d5, rook d1? How does that work? Queen c1, knight... I played knight d5, which is a mistake. You have rook d1? Is your bishop hanging? Why does that work? Magnus Carlsen style, bishop takes d2 check. Click whir yawn variation. Trading the pieces off. Oh, when I played 96, I see. Yeah, I hadn't played 95 yet. Yeah, this is a really solid variation. Optionally, black played d6. Which structure do you like better? I mean, typically you would put the pawns opposite the bishop. But I have a problem with this pawn. What am I going to do with that? Play knight a3? What would Boris Avrook do? Ponte's pawn looks really lame. It's fully Magnus Carlsen style. Ultra solid. What am I supposed to do? Knight A3? It's horrible. I guess I just have to take, but I hate it. I hate playing this move. We have very little in this position. Taking toward the center, but this bishop opens up, and black's got that problem solved. Problem solved. Take with the knight. Take with the knight, b3. Yeah, I mean, b3 is ugly. But I guess it's possible, you're right. I'm too biased. The pawn looks pretty weak, honestly. It is a move, though. He could play something like BC, DC. I mean, DC, BC and C5 or something. This just is not very exciting. What is our plan? It's like a queen's gambit exchange variation, but there's no minority attack, and it's hard to play f3 and e4 successfully with no dark squared bishop on the board. And maybe I could play f3 and e4 eventually, but this would be better if he had played like b6 or something and weakened his long diagonal. But here, he doesn't have that problem. So you had a perfect game, Jim? Good job. Yeah, playing for the e5 square. But I mean, you know, that's temporary. Eventually he can maneuver f6, c6 and f6, kick me out. It reminds you of the kind of position where white, a lot of beginners will play like the exchange queen's gambit and then fianchetto their king's bishop, which is like inane and better for black. It's just very difficult for white to have any plan here whatsoever. At least he doesn't have a dark square bishop. I don't even know what to do. E3, 92. I know that someone was thinking about this. Yeah, I mean, I don't like this. I don't know. But I don't know how to find a plan here for white. You know, alternatively, I can play knight takes d2. Frankly, I've never really played this with white. Be perfectly honest, I never play g3 on the third move. But I do play the positions for black. But I've never been into d5 myself. So I'm in a position that I don't really play with either color. Ultimately, you know, we have the queen's gambit plans. Either you play f3 and e4 or you play for b4, b5. Your game doesn't show up in the history. I think sometimes, you know, that there's some bugs. Maybe it doesn't show up right away or something. Knight f3, d takes c4, a3. That's interesting. The idea of just letting him take the pawn and then playing knight a3. So here, here, here. We just play knight f3. That looks correct. Now you're talking. I agree. That's probably the answer. Let's say knight f3, d takes c4, then knight a3. And it's hard for black to defend that pawn. He'd have to play some crazy move. Queen d5. Doubtful. Yes, good idea. Yeah, my problem is that I don't play g3, but I did always find it awkward to play against. He's going for c4. See, this is why I didn't want to play b3 before. Those dark squares are really weak. Knight h3 was an interesting move. You know, there's a famous Bronstein game where he like ripped the knight on h3 in a similar position. It may be perfectly okay for black to do that. Just give it up. Wait, is his... Yeah. Yeah, if I try to play an early h3, knight h3, he might be able to take it. I imagine white would have some sort of tactical advantage. But it's not much. Okay. Speaking of knight f4, my favorite square. You mean as white or as black? You had the same position. Eric J. Believe me, I thought about it. I love playing knight h3. Time's running. Yeah, but I mean, g5 is psycho. You should have your chess card taken away for that. We have to call in the chess doctor. Instability. No, I mean, alright. It's not that ridiculous. I don't like it. It looks really weakening. It's not necessary. My knight's not really hurting anybody. He's innocent. Your MasterCard. G5. Seriously mental. Well, my only structural plan is f3 and e4, but I've got to watch the dark square control. Both sides have no dark square bishop. Whoa. Oh man. I'm calculating like f3, knight takes e3, knight d1, knight takes f1, and I'm just like, you know, that's a problem. Don't like that. Damn it. I think I screwed up. It's just not enough. I had better. I had better not do that. Dude, he's defending. Finally. It's a good move. No. You can't do that. Yeah, I couldn't think clearly at that point. I was beyond trying to calculate anymore, just not blunder something. We have problems. Yeah, I don't know. So that point where we took on e4, well, I think I might have miscalculated. Nothing surprising about that. E4 was maybe a blunder. I mean, it's a very tempting move, but I was afraid of the stupid thing, right? Like, no, it's not stupid. I mean, I'm afraid of f3, g4. This is the move, f3, but I saw g4 and I started to have these like ghost fears. Of course, f3. But in my mind, I made up these imaginary, like, irrational fears of g4. Apparently, it doesn't even come close to working. Now I go here. Okay, I mean, there's stuff. Like, it looks like he has this, but I'm just taking on f5. Yeah. I just didn't calculate, you know, a few simple moves. But g5 is crazy. You have your chess A player card taken away for playing g5. I mean, I know it happens sometimes in like the Dutch, but I mean, it just looked really, really weakening for black here, particularly with my queen on d2. I don't think that's the right idea. But if we look at the opening, right? So in the critical position, Mozart is right. Nobody plays c takes d5. But this move sucks. It just sucks. Lichess played it in 2018. Sladgie is a friend of mine. He has some very creative ideas about the opening. He's willing to do things other people don't normally do, but sometimes he goes a little too far. Knight f3 is the right idea, and if takes, yeah, this is the idea. I can pick up this pawn. Inconvenient. That's what Mozart said. b3 is weak. It's too weakening. It weakens my dark squares. It's not great either. Playable, but doesn't look right. All right, we've got about 45 minutes left for challenges. Somebody challenged me to rated. I don't do that while I'm talking. So, who's a subscriber? Anybody? The last thing Mozart said was bishop taking on e4 the wrong way. I know, I thought about it too. I had no idea which way to take. It just was like random. I like my knight on c5. I mean, that's the only thing that really went through my head, you know. Knight on c5 is pretty active. I mean, it may not be a big deal, but it's the most active of the three pieces, so I probably want to leave that one there. I don't know that attacking b7 is that relevant. Naturally, you keep the, you know, what I did is like the natural move. It's the knight that's not in the game. It's keeping my bishops protect, but maybe this is interesting. Let's see. Obviously, I'm afraid to give up my, you know, kingside defender. Knight takes e4. But I am double attacking g5. Could he play like f6 or something? Then I have knight takes g5. That's funny. The computer comes up with knight takes b7. I'm not going to find that move in a quick game or trust it. But, you know, this is the obvious. Knight takes g5. So that might be better. But when you're low on time, you just go with the safe move. Here, here, here. Oh, you mean here. You mean here. Ah. Yes. That's what I didn't do that. That's weird. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think normally I would make that move. I guess I was just like panicking. It's not like I'm giving out my bishop for a knight or something. We're keeping the strong knight on c5. Yeah, this makes more sense. I don't know why. That looks better. Yeah, white's better. Because he weakened himself with g5. If not for that, black's okay. g5 was a terrible move. But we've said that already. Okay, play like Kasparov. I'm going to play another like 3 or 4 games, depending on time. Kasparov. It's always intimidating to face Kasparov. Or Kasparov. It doesn't matter if you pronounce it like a naive American. Kasparov. What are we going to do? d4. Yeah, I like the knight on c5. It worked in one variation where I was taking on b7. The old Indian. Whoa. Okay. Ukrainian. They call this the Ukrainian variation. I don't know why. I guess old school Soviet grandmasters from the 40s and 50s played it a lot. I'm not quite sure why Ukrainian variation per se. Who gets credit for that? But I don't think this is white's best. You know, he should play knight f3. Very little question in my mind. A surprising number of strong players played d5 against me, which is, it's okay. It just kind of closes the position early. That's a funny position. When they play d5, I've tried like every move under the sun in this position. I've played a5, knight a6, knight d7, bishop e7, g6. Let's see, what else? At least like 6 moves I've probably played there. But this endgame should be fine for black. The cognoscenti, I think here you're supposed to play bishop e6 or something. The cognoscenti say that bishop e6, the experts play bishop e6, but I don't fully understand that variation, so I'm not going to do it. Some of the lines in that are a little unnatural. I've always had reasonable results here. The one thing you got to watch out for is bishop d8 mate. You don't get tempted like to move your knight. This is an awful sort of nightmare scenario. White can play knight e4 here. I highly recommend knight e4 in bullet chess. Nine out of 10 bullet opponents just hack the knight immediately. Yes, that's the theoretical move, although no one good plays this with white. I guess that's supposed to be white's best move. Now knight fd7, knight e5. Knight e5, bishop d8 mate again. I'm trying to remember if this was played by... if this position was in any games where Nesbedinov played with black. He was my inspiration, plus Feugl played it a lot. Feugl's Ukrainian. Coincidence? I don't think so. Alright, knight on bd7. So here normally we would prefer to play with the F knight, but because of the mate on D8, see, we want to play like F6 and support our center. Because of the mate on D8, we can't go knight F D7 because of knight takes E5. It's complications. What if the point of knight D4? Sorry? I don't get it. Knight D4? I'm not sure which position we're talking about. Sean Pinto. Oh, E4. No point. It's just a cheap move to try to like get black to fall for a mate in one. I'm just joking what someone would do in a bullet game. It's a hanging knight, and white gets mate with bishop d8 if you take it. Just a joke. Chess joke. Now knight e4 no longer works. We're blocking the d line. You play to me at d5? You know, Igor would play, he would play what? Sometimes he would play like d6 on move 1 because he plays the Pierts. But you probably transpose something like d4, d6, c4, knight f6. I guess he did both. He would probably play d4, knight f6, depending on his mood. Sometimes he played the modern. Yeah, the immediate d5 is just a closed game. Because there's independent variations with like d4, d6, c4, e5. Some people do that and then they'll like exchange on e5, which is also, of course, lame for white. So we can have the position with the knights on c3 and f6 or without it. But I've never really understood, you know, why so many people play d5. I like knight f3 better. It's just like, I guess they're afraid of e4 or something, but that's not really a good variation for black. It's highly dubious. So e3, this is good. Now I have knight g4, but I'm not sure if it's a good move or not. It looks kind of anti-developmental, to say the least. Anti-development. Knight g4, rook d2. h6, no, f6, bishop h4. Whoops. Whoops, I flipped the board. The F flip, flipping board. Bishop b4 probably computer move. Based on my experience, this is probably best. It just feels like this is too anti-developmental. I'm not getting my pieces out. Double pawns. Not sure. I get a lot of people who like take on f6. Like you just bishop h4 right away. Yeah, I was hoping for an incredibly long-winded plan where I would hunt down the bishop with like knight f5, but it's too slow. If he plays bishop f6, I have to take with the pawn, but it's not a problem. I have tons of games in Blitz where that happened. At least this is bad bishop. You know, it's not that big of a deal for him to give that up. The biggest thing that white usually does wrong, like beginners, is that instead of playing e3, this is classic, they'll play e4, which is a disaster. White will totally lose control of the d4 square, and his white square bishop will be a pawn. It already is a pawn, but it's even worse in those scenarios. 99% of beginners always play e4. This structure just loses the central point. It's very, very big. big problem. Now this is interesting. Yeah, I'm having hallucinations. I hallucinated white could play c5 now. I was like, oh my god, what am I going to do? a3, he's supporting the idea of c5, but it's not quite there yet. This is a very classic restriction on the queen side. Maybe I should pull the trigger on that later, I don't know. Of course, once I let him play b4, it may be too late. That's a great move. Damn. Now I'm gonna have to move my bishop again? Play like Kasparov, seriously. He's playing like Kasparov. Wow. Okay, we've got a way to deal with this, hopefully. This is a bit awkward. Wait, what? I didn't see the idea of knight e4. Mozart, good suggestion. I was not looking at that square. What do I do here? Drop 2 pawns or 1? We're playing Blitz. Damn, that's a nasty check you got there. That check? Hello. Whoa. Dude, with the tactics. Just keeps pulling tactics out of his butt. Now bishop c4. Man, I would be so depressed here, I would just resign. I blundered. Wow. I would have just given up. Instead, he's totally in the game. That's incredible. Just keeps coming up with moves. I was up a piece and then dropped it back. What? Knight f7? That's a weird move. I don't like it when they play moves that I don't understand what it does. Alright, the end of this game wasn't too good. It wasn't too good quality. We're panicking. Opening, gotta go. I gotta go in about 30 minutes, but you were mentioning taking with the knight on f6. It's a cool idea. I failed to see this idea of knight e4. There's this old IM. Was it this guy? Maybe it's a different guy I'm thinking of. I'm not sure. G takes f6. Is knight takes f6 possible? So this is what the other player missed and I missed. Knight e5, bishop c3, b takes c, and here with this fork threat. Apparently this is better for black. So the whole variation is sort of dubious for white. It was a Moskalenko game from 1988, but I mean, pretty much nobody good plays this. The only thing you can do is knight f3, but this move has, I guess, a decent reputation as playable. But I guess bishop g5 isn't so hot. Again, this is the expert move for black, though I don't fully know it. Yeah, ugly finish. Alright, so I got a couple challenges here from regulars. I didn't realize I was dropping a piece. I've been playing really badly when I get down to around 10 seconds. Don't play enough fast blitz lately. My reactions are not that fast. Need to play more 5-0 probably on a regular basis for training. The Owen defense has dubious reputation for black. Jim recommends knight f3. Let's try his line. Normally I'm playing queen e2 there. g4. No, Alexei. Not today. This should be good for white. This looks like an acerbate Owen defense. Yeah, no, naturally you don't want to do this too early. He has knight d5. Maybe he has an idea here. Bishop e4. Anybody want to go for that? Wow, c5. Not what I expected. I actually expected him to play g5. I'm not saying it's good, but it's possible. Yeah, he plays crazy stuff. I mean, this player's gotten away with murder in some games against me in the past. It should be very good for white. It's like a classical Nimzo where the knight is on c7. It happened to me. It's probably happened to me before. Highly suspect, of course, but I think that black understands that his opening is not correct. Just prefers to create weird complications where possible. Yeah, the d6 square not easy to do anything with. But the long-term ramifications of that are the backwardness for black along the d-file, yeah. Very unpleasant. I walked into this g5. See, this is the kind of thing, he'll just opportunistically come out of something out of nowhere. Black will magically beat me now. If I play bishop g3, h5, I have h4. Yeah, this is weird. Okay. I can play h3. He could have played g4 there. Maybe that's what they should have done. I'm not sure. It's unclear enough that I lose my focus at some point and will go wrong. I mean, I play the St. George a lot with black, so this type of position is kind of similar. I know what playing unsound openings is like. b4 looks too weakening. I mean, ultimately, like, his king isn't safe in the center of the board, so white should be better. But I'm not sure, you know, I'm playing this incisively enough. We have a very small advantage. Yeah, I think g4 was kind of crazy. I mean, with him having the long diagonal too. Oh, you mean g4 for him? Oh, I have knight d4? Alright. I was afraid it might work. White is better. Speaking of knight d4, a5 is like a telepathic move. Securing that bishop on c5. Now what do I do? Rook d6. Fun. Fun for the whole family. Rook d6. Positional exchange sacrifice. This is crazy. It should probably not be played. Yeah, this is nuts. Yeah, this is just nuts. But that's what happens eventually. You'll just bleed a4. If black doesn't make a mistake, you eventually start to crack. That's what will happen against this guy. He won't make any mistakes, and I'll start to crack. And cracking can be a miscalculation, or it can be a tilt move like rook d6. It's inevitable. Eventually, everyone makes mistakes. Well, most people, anyway. I'm going to have to move that rook away. Knight h7 is interesting, actually. Fortunately, he's not allowed to castle the other way. Okay, let's see. Take, take. He has like a computer move. He'll have the computer move f5. We have to prepare this. I don't want to retreat my rook. I can castle kingside. Eventually. But he can't castle. He's made rook b8. Even played it. My concern there was the f5 move. If I play knight h7, I'm suddenly terminated. You would think that move would be losing for black. I think it is. Violent overthrow of the black position. Right. Was it sound? I think it was crazy to play rook d6 and unnecessary. Why do I need to play that move? I should have just played my plan in the game immediately. It's not like he's starting to play d6 or something. Why do I need to play that move? I remember there was a reason why I played it, though. The reason why I played it was to stop bishop e7. You know, I was thinking along these lines, like h4, g4, knight g5, bishop e7, and he can take out my guy. Obviously, I'm still clearly better. You could play knight h7 there, but it's covering, so I thought I could block him from doing that. The computer doesn't believe me, though. He could have played h4 and messed up my whole attacking plan. So that wasn't great. Doesn't really work. Alright, Sadamasa. Zen Chess is here. Oh no. Hopefully Zen Chess is not a subscriber. I'm just kidding. Yeah, he could have played b5. That's the other reason why I think rook d6 is sort of stupid. I'm just sort of like playing into b5. I mean, if I take now, I'm losing tempi and stuff. My rook gets hit. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I want to encourage him to play b5. It's a stupid move. All right, Zen Chess subscriber. He just subscribed. Damn it! Now I'm gonna be in trouble. This might be the last game today. We'll see if we have time for another game. I've got to leave a little bit early. Thanks for subscribing, man. Zen Chess. What opening am I playing? 30 months subscribed on the 3-month streak. Let's keep the streak up. Knight f3, a quiet move. Oh yeah, so it's coming back to me now. You used to play like King's Indian attack type stuff, didn't you? Didn't you, Zen? Who am I thinking of? It was somebody else. What is this bishop c4 with knight f3 business? Bidness. It's a move here. Knight f6. Okay, so it's like a standard Pierce where you're playing bishop c4. Traditionally not considered to be a dangerous line in tandem with knight f3. The old days, it used to be knight c3, bishop c4 was considered best. John Nunn and all that. Black should be okay here. So c6. Some kind of c6, right? Does feel like an Alyekin's defense transposition, though. Zen Chess is one of those Chessable people. He's got his Chessable account. He's studying systems. This is not the London system. It's on the other side of the board. Don't forget, that's bishop c4, not bishop f4. It's the mirror London. Yeah, I don't know why this system was never recognized as a real line until recently. So now it feels like definitely a direct Alyekin's defense transposition. If I take, he brings the knight to e5. But there is another option. Transposing from the Pierce to the Alyekin, I guess. Alyekin. Alyokhin. We've got to pronounce things correctly. Oh. Hate that one. No.
No!
Hate that one too.
No!
Alright. Go to these yes and no buttons. 1 in 10 of them suck. We got the sucky ones. Immediately. There is one that sounds like Montgomery Burns, which is cool. But most of them suck. Alright. Knight d5. There's actually one voice that sounds like a friend of mine. I wonder if he did the voiceover for it. It's a distinct possibility. Knight to d5. What's up? What do you play against Alyekin's defense? Give me your white scarred bishop and we're in business. Come on. h3. You promise not to play h4 later on? Well, alright. I'll take your word for it. It just wouldn't make sense to play h3 then h4. Clearly. That's it. Be a good boy in Castle King's side. Down. Down spot. So now what do we do? Counterplay is a little hard to come by. Around here. The counterplay. We're not getting that much pressure on white center. No, but I mean, it's not that he has an initiative. It's his space advantage is consolidated. It's true he doesn't have an initiative. That's not my problem. The bigger problem is just his space advantage is not an overextension, you know? There's a difference when the center is overextended or when it's fully supported like it is here. Exactly. Positionally sound. I don't recommend weakening your king side normally. This is a borderline prophylactic move. Why not knight d7? It's a move. Where is my counterplay? Are you implying the Pirates isn't good enough? Maybe that's why I gave it up in like 1994. Probably even earlier. It was one of my first openings. I don't remember. My last Pirates was probably maybe 1993. At some point I realized when I was really struggling against players I would say do alright against in the Sicilian, I'm struggling to even draw against these guys in the Pirates. Oh, mommy. Alright. A little concerned about this rickety setup. Black has huge spatial disadvantage. It's basically a bad Alekhine. The idea was that white will overextend their e-pawn and will have counterplay, but I don't have any counterplay. So therefore this decided per modern approach is unsuccessful. What about knight d5, bishop d5, bishop d5, pawn d5, queen b5? The least of my concerns. It looks like something Lawyer of Times would play in the Alekhine. Mozart, some kind of pretty bad rickety setup. Sorry, Lawyer, if you're out there. Not easy to play the Alekhine. I fully understand. Can I do this? No. I mean, this must be dubious. Your 10-year-old son played a game the other day with 1 CPL. Honestly, man, I don't think I've ever seen a game where someone played a game with 1 CPL, Mule Skinner. I've definitely not seen any 0 CPLs. That may be like a world record, Mule Skinner. I'm basically sacrificing a pawn here. Basically. Just sacrificing a pawn for nothing? I had an idea. Oh yeah. Almost nothing. That's kind of scary, Milskin. Are you sure your Nokia isn't just... I mean, not to say that he's not a good player, incapable of that, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody do 1 cent pawn loss. Is that even possible? That's my question. Ultra Bullet. Wait a minute, is the knight's going back to... I mean, how much counterplay do we have here? Let's just do it this way. I was going to play knight b6, but I'm really not sure. So, I'm simply sacrificing a pawn for the initiative. Old school. What? 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 Unexpected and unpleasant. Surprise. Ooh. Whoa. Wow. Give 2 minutes to my 10 seconds. Jeez, that's pretty harsh. The new improved Zen chess now beats me every game. It's like, what is this? Alright. H5 is a pretty stupid move. Realistically. It's like playing God if God could play chess. This is how he would play with white. Hard to believe I have 123 score against you. I just can't move that fast. And white is like God. Yeah, I realized too late that I had bishop d5, and I went to play it, but my time fell. I just realized it too late, and when I tried to... I don't know what else I was going to play. I guess I was going to retreat my knight initially, and then I realized I had bishop d5. But flagged. That's brutal, man. What a way to end the stream. I gotta go. So that was fun. Terrible opening. What did I do wrong? I'm supposed to castle here, but the variation is better for white. This is apparently the refutation of the peers. Yeah, I have to work. I'm sorry. Can't take any more challenges. So we're going to be back tomorrow night. I'm going to create a Blitz tournament for the viewers and myself for our team. Yeah, tough game, man. I guess c6 is slightly dubious. This has all been played before. h6 isn't so hot. Yeah, it's not got a lot of good supporters. a5 is the lawyer times. Alyekin, we were talking about. Ponomarev, 0. Gipsless, 0. Mamedov got a draw. Yeah, I mean, it's not an easy position to play for black. I don't like this variation a lot. So I should just castle first. It's still not simple, though. Looks like an unpleasant line. Alright, guys, I will see you tomorrow night for Blitz tournament. Thanks, everybody, for watching and supporting the stream. Much appreciated. We will be back tomorrow night at 6:30 CET. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.